granddad's Spanish teacher, and she has actually done a pilgrimage walk, so I will hand over and she will now tell you a bit about it. Tell us your name and a bit about yourself.
My name is Everline, and I'm originally from France, but I've been living in the UK for 26 years.
Can you tell us a bit about the El Camino?
Right, El Camino is an old pilgrimage route. Do you know what a pilgrimage is? Yes. And it started in 800s, a long time ago, and people from all over Europe and Spain and Portugal were walking to congregate in an area called Santiago de Compostela. And the reason why they congregated there is because they had been found what they thought was the remnants of the apostles St. James.
Where does the route start and finish?
Right, it starts where you decide to start. So you can start in Madrid, you can start in France, you can start from your own home if you want to and if you have the time. And it finishes in Santiago de Compostela, which is northwest of Spain, at the top of Portugal, north of Portugal.
How far is it?
It is far from England. It is quite far, because if we left from the Midlands, we would have to leave home. We would have to go all the way down to Portsmouth, then cross on the ferry, then cross all of France, and then walk along the north of Spain to reach the Santiago. So it would be a good couple of thousand kilometers.
How many miles did you walk in total and in a day?
Right, so the first time I went, I left from north of Lisbon, and I walked in total 535 kilometers, which is 334 miles. And the second time, I walked 428 miles, and that was leaving from Madrid. So, every day I was walking an average of 18 miles. I was sleeping in what we call albergues. Albergues are like backpackers' hostels, but it's for walkers, and you can recognize them because you have they tell you albergue peregrinos, which means pilgrims, and usually you have the shell, which is the symbol of the Camino.
What did you take with you?
I had a rucksack. I was carrying about 7 kilos, so it's about 15 pounds, because of course we have to walk with all this on our back, and it could get heavy. And what I was taking with me, a sleeping bag, a couple of changes of clothes, my phone, and also the what is it I have? Oh yes, something very important, the power bank, because if I was running out of power, I wanted to be able to contact someone in case of issues.
How long does it take to complete?
In my case, the first time it took me 3.5 weeks, and maybe 4 weeks for the second one.
How many people does it a year?
Loads. Maybe couldn't give you exact figures because I haven't got them with me, but you could think 20, 30,000, and yes, loads of people. It's very popular.
Why did you want to do the walk?
And this is my Spanish teacher's fault. His name was Jacques, which is in Spanish Santiago. And he was always saying to us, my name is Santiago, and he started telling us about the Camino and about the pilgrimage. And when I was 13, 14, I already wanted to do the Camino. but it took me loads of years, many years to do it, just because I needed the time.
Is it expensive with the cost of travel and food you buy?
If you take low cost plane tickets, and if you stay in these albergues, and if you buy your food from supermarkets or small shops, it is not particularly expensive. You need to look at about per day, maybe £20 a day, roughly, plus the cost of travel.
You have brought some things in with us, so can you show and tell us what they are?
Right, sure. Right, so the first thing is the most important thing. This is the shell. And this is a symbol of the Camino, because they say that when they found St. James, and he went by sea from Israel, and he was covered in scallop shells. Therefore, the scallop shell is the symbol. And when you do your walk, you put this scallop shell on your rucksack, so people know why you are walking around the countryside, and they know that you are not a strange person walking. And this allows you to get the cheap hostels, the cheap albergues to stay in. Because if you haven't got this, people will say, who is this person? Maybe they just want to, we don't know. And then you have this. And this is the most important thing. Because as soon as you arrive somewhere, every day, you need to ask for a stamp of the different places you go to. So, and this was done even at the beginning, so people knew that these people walking around were actually pilgrims. And it was like a pass, so you arrive, and it's better to have churches because of the religious heritage, but you can also have it stamped in hostels, you can have it stamped in restaurants, you can have it stamped maybe by some people on the side of the road sometimes who sell souvenirs. And then at the end, when you arrive in Santiago with all your stamps and all the little bits of things that you pick up on the way, that's not compulsory, by the way, you arrive here. This one is the last one to Santiago, and you go to an office, and in this office they take this and they check where you started and where you finished, and then you get what we call La Compostela. La Compostela is a certificate. I'm going to show you this one, saying that proves that you've done the walk and how long you've done it for. So the first one you get is this one. So this is the official Compostela, and it's all written in Latin, and it says, yes, she's done it. And you have your name written. And then, after this, you can have another one, this one, and it states how many kilometers I did during my walk between the beginning and the end. And this one stays 685 kilometers. So that was the 428 miles, sorry.
Will you do it again?
Well, I am doing it again. Next April, I'm going all the way down to Sevilla, so south of Spain, and I'm going to make my way up, and it's going to be something like 1,000 kilometers.
Did you visit the Church of St. James?
Oh yes, I did, because when we arrive, the first thing we do, we stop in front of the church, and we see other people who have been walking as well, and then we go and visit it, and we visit the church. Sometimes you have some special masses that are done for pilgrims as well, and it's an amazing church. It's beautiful, it's huge, and before COVID, you could go and hug the apostle as well, the statue of the apostle, for people who who are interested in this. But since COVID, it has been difficult because of contamination.
The last question is, how are you spending Christmas this year?
Well, this year I'm going to see my mum and dad in France, in the south of France. So that's going to be a bit of an odyssey. Because I have to take a plane. I have to drive, then take a plane. Then maybe walk to the station from the airport. Then go on a train. And then walk from the train station to my parents' house. And that's going to be another couple of hours budget, but it's just a lot of fun.
Thank you for doing this video, Evelyn. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it and learned something new. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you!
So this is the end of the video. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. But before we go, make sure you like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Bye!